knowledgeable about golf, and he's a great
yeah.
teacher.
Yeah,
And
yeah. You hear from Alan at all?
yeah. He had another baby. Did I tell you that?
I know.
A girl, and we text and we're on Facebook together.
What was his son's name? Owen? No.
Rowan.
Rowan. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, let me pause this recording. Okay, it's recording. All right. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Westborough Recreation Commission will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information in the general, let me let Colleen in. Specific information in the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with a right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town's website at www.town.westborough.ma.us. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to listen and watch the meeting may do so in the following manner. A recording of the meeting will be posted on westboroughrec.com. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the Westborough Recreation website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Can't wait till that's done. Okay, so
I'm with you, Jen.
hi, Colleen. She's here.
Hello.
Okay, good. All right, so we'll just get started because I think this will cut me off. If we get cut off, we can I can set up another meeting. But the first thing, and I don't know if anyone got a chance to look at the attachment that I sent yesterday about the Community Preservation Act. So we need somebody from the commission to join this committee. Anyone interested?
I've already done that committee.
So
Yeah, I have too, Beth. We've both been on it a long time ago.
I'm not for it, so I would not be a good person to be on that committee.
Do you know anything about it? Like what it's going to entail?
Well, the tax on real estate sales, and there's so many taxes now put on real estate sales as well as everything else, and I guess the other day a new tax was imposed without the legislature, and that's going to be a new gas tax. So I'm just not for any more taxes, especially on real estate, because a lot of people sell their home. They need every penny they can to buy a new home, and I just don't think another tax on that. There already is a tax on real estate. To add another one, I just think is overkill. And I think Governor Baker added an additional one there. So I think I'm done with tax. You know, I wouldn't vote for it, and I wouldn't want to be on that committee because I wouldn't be a happy person. On that committee.
And that's okay. Because I can always just go back to them and just say.
Well, what about the rest of you? Nobody else is interested? Bill, you interested?
Did you say, Jen, we have to have someone?
So I read that it's recommended, like there's a representative from a few different places. I don't know if it's like we kind of have to, it's recommended.
I think we would, if it was ever voted in, we would benefit from it because the state matches the funds that are collected, and we could use it for recreational purposes.
But it's all open space, right? Like it's not like you could get a field and put a softball field on it, right? Is that what this is all for?
You know what? It was a while ago. I don't remember.
I don't either.
I think that's what it is.
It was back 20 years ago while we were on early 2000s, I think, so when we were doing that.
And I can always be the rec representative too. I mean, I don't think it's going to entail a lot. It's part of the strategic plan.
I mean, I don't mind taking one for the team, right?
Colleen. Okay, and maybe it's even like we could say, Colleen, well, you know, you're interested, but you want to maybe like go to the first info session or whatever they do, and then kind of like make a decision after that to see like what, because that was what I tried to find out, like what the time commitment would be. And
Yeah.
I was just forwarded that PDF, which just kind of explains a broad overview of what community preservation is.
Who's heading it up? Lee Emery headed it up last time.
There's like so it's like,
It's a board of selectmen. So this is a goal for the board of selectmen for the year that
Okay.
I am recommending. I don't know who the I is.
Right.
That the board set up a committee to explore this with the goal of holding a forum. It's basically, yeah. So I mean, it's a committee of committees.
Yeah. I'm on enough committees, I'm telling you, I can't be on anymore.
yeah.
I'm committed out.
I don't mind like being the person that goes to figure out if it makes sense.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Colleen. So, you'll be our liaison. So I don't know if you want to, I think we could vote on it to make it official. Someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we Colleen Dowd is a liaison to the new what is
Community
it?
preservation.
Community Preservation Committee.
Mhm.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh,
Aye.
aye, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you,
Yeah.
Colleen.
Thanks, Colleen.
Colleen.
Thanks, Colleen.
Okay, so now we can just move on to the summer update. I can't believe it's already August, but we made it through the summer. We've actually been able to successfully run quite a few programs. Archery, Fin and Feather Outdoor Adventures. So they do like archery, fishing, nature walks, things of that nature. So we've run a few sessions of that, a few sessions of archery, outdoor basketball. We've run a few sessions of that. Golf has been pretty big. So between Juniper and the Country Club, we have run a bunch of weeks of that. Best Soccer is Paul Mumby runs that. I don't know if any of you know him, but he's an animal. He's run a bunch of weeks. We're running more Best Soccer this month. We're gonna try to do like a little Build-A-Bear craft activity outside. Oh, we have nature camp that's run the past couple of weeks. That's been really good. So we've been pretty creative. The vendors have been creative and really taken seriously, all the guidelines and everything, but we've still been able to pull off some successful programs. We haven't had any, complaints or issues, knock on wood.
Awesome, Jen.
Yeah, so we've done the best I think that we can. And what else was I gonna say? So, oh yeah, we had almost 600 registrations for the summer over the various programs that I just listed. So when I pulled that report,
That's amazing.
yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
The other thing I will say, considering I've spent a lot of time at Haskell over the last 6 weeks, is it is incredible the amount of families that are using the recreation space and in a really positive and distanced way. Like we should be, so I think the residents of Westborough should be so grateful that we have great facilities between the tennis courts, the pickleball courts. Like there's not a day that I've been at Haskell where every single component of the fields are being used. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Even after some basketball, it was nice to see little families go over and just kind of play tennis. I've noticed that as well. So it is great. I'm just trying to see. So that was kind of our program. So the beach, no issues. We've been closed. People have still been using it. And it's been okay. So I think there was a little bit of a trash problem at the beginning of the season, but that has sort of subsided from what I've seen. The one thing with the beach is the Board of Health is still testing the bacteria, and we've had a couple of weeks where the bacteria has been really high, but Steve and the Board of Health thinks it's just from the rain and the heat, but it's just something to keep an eye on because it's never been like this. We rarely have to close the beach for bacteria when we're open and people are using it. So he doesn't really know what's going on. He's kind of keeping an eye on it. I assume it was fine today. They usually get the results on Tuesday afternoon, and no news is good news. So I'm assuming it's fine this week. And I think
We're not alone, though. I would say, like, if you follow other places, they're having the same issues that we are.
Yeah, and it's probably just the rain, Steve thinks. Like Hopkinton was closed a couple of weeks ago because of the same thing. So just seems weird that I guess it's good that, the year that we're not open, these tests are coming back high, but.
Hey, Jen, with everybody still using it, or as you're saying, a lot of people are still using it, do we know if anyone's actually getting sick from all this bacteria?
Not that I know, and it's only been twice, so we shut the beach. So what happens when we get a high reading, we meaning Steven, goes out and puts signs out at the beach that tell people not to go swimming, and then they come back and retest. And both times when they come back and retest the numbers, so I forget the number, the parameters, but say it's 100, that's bad. The next day it'll come back and it's 10. So it's really, we haven't heard of anyone getting sick. Like I said, we post the beach, tell people not to swim. So it's been okay. It's just odd that we've already had 2 and we can go a whole summer with like numbers being very, very, very low, not even close to having a case.
Yeah, I think Ray said the threshold's like 300. One of the weeks it went from 1,200 to 15 in like a day.
Wow.
So I don't know if it's something about where I think he gets it from the same place. So I don't really know what caused that type of fluctuation, but it has been dramatic.
And is it clear that if you're putting up signs that say beach is closed because of the bacteria, is it also clear that the beach is closed, period?
Yeah, we've purchased new signs that are posted at the front gate, which nobody will look at, but also at the illegal entrance. It's clear, it's yellow, it says beach is closed, there's no lifeguard on duty.
Okay.
Swim at your
own. I was over there on Saturday, and it was definitely clear that the beach is closed.
Okay. All right. Good.
And there were people using it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So just staying on the lake, the algae treatments that we're paying for have started. They did the first one at the end of July. There are no restrictions with this treatment, so people can swim, their dogs can go swimming. I guess you could even drink it. No restrictions at all before, during, or after. So the next treatment is going to be next Friday. So we do post the beach, but it's more just informational. Hey, this is happening, but you can just, all normal lake activities can go on. The Conservation Commission wanted a more comprehensive study done of the lake as to kind of like why the algae blooms happened, where it's coming from. I've sort of passed that to conservation, the new conservation director, just because the towns that I did talk to, rec has nothing to do with that. It's really conservation that handles that type of work. I don't know enough about invasive plant life and all of that to.
That's a good move, Jen.
So, and I talked to Kim, the assistant town manager, and she agreed that that's definitely more under the conservation.
So, Jen, is there a chance, or maybe this is for Earl, is there a chance that, this is a two-part question. A, could the development of the new housing up there be contributing towards this? And B, whether it is or not, could some of our budget come from an ask of them to help with some of this?
Well, no, the housing development, all their runoff is captured on the backside, goes off the backside. All the retention basins and everything are all on the backside. Nothing comes our way, so
Okay.
they're pretty a long ways away from the water. And as far as getting any money out of them, I've been dealing with Pulte, and they're not easy people to deal with. They make promises and they don't keep them. So I don't see anything coming from them for anything.
Okay.
We're in the process of getting them to put a sidewalk down Lyman Street now, and it's been kind of a obstacle course, but it looks like it's going to happen, but probably not till next year. But be nice if they did do that, you know.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
I don't think there's any chance of getting any money out of them or anything. And if there is, the planning board's already beat them up and got all they can get out of
Okay. But if, and again, and I know you're on it, but if it turns out that there is a chance that it's coming from their development, then we can revisit it, I guess, right?
Yeah, and so I think that's what this study would do, would kind of see if there's a way to determine where this algae is coming from, or Steve was kind of saying, you know, if there's already certain phosphorus levels in the lake, I'm already going way over my head here with what I'm about to like, but like if there's already certain levels that this is just built up over time, there might just be nothing we can do. Like there's an alum treatment that costs upwards of $100,000 that would mitigate the problem for 10 to 15 years, but that is a huge expense. But that's what the study would hopefully determine, and that's why the Conservation Commission wanted it.
And it would look broader than just us narrowly. As Colleen said, other towns seem to be having this problem too. So does it look at it statewide?
No, so the bacteria and the algae are two separate. The bacteria is mainly, from what I've heard from Board of Health, is mainly just rainfall typically.
Okay.
And the algae is, it could be a variety of different things of what causes it, and that's kind of where the study would only focus on Westborough. Maybe would do some compare. I don't really know.
Okay.
But once, like I said, I passed that to Jordan, the new conservation director. He was going to run it by his board actually tonight, and so I'm sure we'll follow up with each other this week or next about the next step with that. But that is something the selectmen and were in agreement and wanted, was a bigger study done of the lake.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. And so I think, I don't know when the last time we met, but Nelson Ball, our town pickleball, he donated $20,000 to us to put in another 4 pickleball courts on Lyman Street. So that work is done. We went to the selectmen, they approved a gift account, so we got that all set up. He sent a check, and next Tuesday night, the selectmen are gonna, I'm gonna go to the selectmen, ask to name the courts after him. I just think it's kind of a nice gesture. And then once the selectmen approve that on Tuesday night, the next Wednesday, we're gonna have a little ribbon cutting ceremony. I might try to see if Westborough TV can come down and just sort of acknowledge him and all he's done, you know, to bring pickleball to Westborough, and just, you know, and being so generous with, you know, the donation and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was all I had for summer. So as we move into the fall, that's the next thing on the agenda. We're gonna kind of roll the same way we did during the summer, lots of outdoor stuff. We're planning to not be able to use the schools. Even the after school program, I think, that's usually in the schools, are working on other scenarios. So it's going to be a lot of outdoor stuff. Again, Best Soccer wants to run something. There's a basketball clinic that we run every fall that I think we're going to do outside this year. Lacrosse, field hockey, they're going to try to do something outside. I think we're going to try to get archery back outside. So just a lot of outdoor stuff. And we're working with vendors to see if they can be creative and move their programs outside. We did put out a survey about what people wanted. And majority of people are done with online. They don't want any more virtual stuff, especially where school's going to be online. So I think we're gonna work as hard as we can to do programs outside. The fall, I'm not too worried about. I think that we can be creative. It's just when we get into the winter months, I don't know what that's going to look like. It may be the first year without rec basketball, which is typically what we do all winter.
That is like heartbreaking.
Yeah, so sad.
Would be.
It's just because of it where it is in the phasing, right?
There's something about, I don't think it's.
Oh, sorry, Stephen.
Oh, am I freezing?
Oh yeah, I think maybe you froze. Sorry. Go ahead, say that again.
I was basically going to say to Colleen that I tried to put together some sort of plan about trying to keep we have to redistribute the leagues and stuff, basically trying to keep people that would be playing in the schools that they attend, to try to limit the amount of people that would be going into new spaces. And we'd have to have coaches and parents, refs and everything else. Just a lot of our refs are older, and just bringing in people doesn't seem like something the schools would do. But I wasn't planning on emailing Cindy and Kelly and Amber whether or not we'd even be able to move forward with something like that until after they announced the school.
Yeah, it's hard. It's tough. I get it. It's where they're phased, and it's a very contact sport. So,
Yeah.
meaning just like face to face.
And I think too, part of it is even if they say, okay, yeah, you can play basketball games, it goes into, I think Stephen was saying it, is if how that's going to play into the school has such a big responsibility of cleaning after every group is in and out. How do we play into that when we're coming in 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night with a whole new group of kids? There's a lot of moving parts, even if they say, yeah, sure, you can play basketball, but what does that look like for us? So like Stephen said, he did put together a really good plan. If we can get into the schools, I think we'll definitely explore it. But that'll be, I think, the big question is if we would even be allowed in, which I doubt.
Probably pay for the extra cleaning if that was the deal.
True, that could be, yeah.
And we already paid $15,000 or $16,000 to use the thing to begin with.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't have. I basically said that we wouldn't try to have weeknight practices or anything like that. It would all be consolidated to the weekend, so there wasn't anything additional in between the actual students being there. So yeah, like Earl said, that would be all extra custodial fees that we wouldn't typically incur.
Yeah.
When does that typically start, Jen?
Yeah.
Beginning of November.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe COVID will just go away.
Okay, don't.
He just said, okay, Donald. I'm just being optimistic.
I was saying the same thing, but I was thinking the same thing, but I knew we were being recorded.
Oh,
so
yeah, right. See, Earl. God, we're all going to jail. So obviously we'll meet again, and as things, I haven't felt comfortable even at talking to Amber about school use with everything that she's got going on. So I figured we just plan to not have anything in the schools for the fall. See how school goes. If things go better than expected, I'm sure I'll have a conversation with her about what the winter and even early next spring looks like for stuff. So more.
Jen,
yeah.
So in lieu of what we typically do, and it sounds like we want to be outdoors, which I love, at least we're doing something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess two things. One, are we coming up with new ideas on other outdoor activities we can be doing? Whether, something where it's not as, physical or we're all sharing the same ball outside or whatever. Is there other things we can look at that we can possibly do?
We did put out a survey. We didn't get a ton of specific program ideas. Yeah. It was more just I feel like the overwhelming theme was anything to put kids together, even if they're 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
So with that, we can open it up for discussion. If anyone has anything that we want to try, we certainly can. Did you have a specific thought or?
No. I don't know. I guess just looking at maybe what they do for Winter Olympic type games, if there's things we can bring into that. I don't know what the sport's escaping me now, but the one where they roll they slide a disc.
Hurling?
Hurling, yes, yeah. The scoopers. Yeah.
I love hurling.
Yeah, something like that. It's new, it's different. I mean, not new, but it's different to the program. Type of things like that, where it's still something to be outside and try. And maybe, who knows, maybe there'll be some interest in that.
Even ice fishing, right? Like ice fishing.
Yeah. There's another one. Yeah.
Yeah, do they have an ice fishing derby?
We haven't had any in the last 3-4 years because we haven't had any ice.
Oh, right.
We used to have the Bassmasters that
Yeah.
Steve O'Keefe ran every year.
Yeah.
We haven't done it in 4 years. I think we talked, Gary Bowman and I were talking about it's been 4 years. No ice.
Maybe this is the year we erect the Brian Kane ice skating.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we've always talked about a little ice skating rink down at Bay State.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or at Hastings. I think right in the front of Hastings.
Yes, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, in front, where in Hastings?
I filled that pond in.
Oh,
Oh,
The one out front, when the birds were, I filled it in.
oh.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand it any longer.
Rogers.
Yeah, Roger, it's perfect, just has to rain.
yeah. That's
Yeah, we definitely can, open to any suggestions. Like, I'm not trying, just things cost-wise, we just have to kind of be careful about how many, like, new things we're building or trying to bring in. Like, I don't know, there is a curling center in Marlborough, but I think they're closed right now. I think they do offer curling and stuff like that, but we can definitely look into, we really seriously had, well, not, I mean, I think Alan brought it up a few years ago about putting a public skating rink somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marlborough does it, and it sounds like it's relatively easy. They just have the DPW come, they fill it, and that's it, and it's skate at your own risk.
that, and maybe we organize like competition like speed skating or something like that, where it's a little bit more competitive for those that want those competitive type games, but it's just organized. I'm all for the ice rink just to kind of free skate, but I'm looking for what kids that want to be engaged in a sport, trying to find another sport they can take advantage of. And I know it's all weather contingent. I get all that, but just something
even like cross country skiing at the golf course,
Yeah, there you go. That's another great one. Yeah.
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 Jen, I do think with the delay in schools, like if you ran a few more, if you did like a 1 week kitty kickers, or you ran the basketball again, like with school getting delayed, people loved it, and you'd have more people that want to do it.
Yeah, now that I kind of saw how good the kids were, I would maybe even take a few more, or like rope somebody into helping me so we can take more. But yeah, like Best Soccer's definitely, he's all over that. I was thinking that too, just doing a little kitty kickers or something like that, like the typical stuff for sure, just to fill the weeks. We are, I don't think I mentioned it, but I was in talks with the library about doing like a drive-in movie somewhere.
That's great.
But there's a lot of logistics there to, like, I kind of talked to the town, like Christy, and where we could do it. We're also looking at maybe like a drive-in trivia, something, because for older kids, teens, that's been a request of like trying to get something for teens, older kids that feel isolated. We're working out, I just kind of brought it up today, like I don't want to call it like a friend matcher, but sort of like, if you're new to town or you're shy or you're lonely, you would fill out this form with your information and what you're interested in, and then we would kind of connect people based on similar interests. But there's just still some kinks to work out, because we don't want people's information to get into the wrong hands, because then it could turn negative. Someone's now bullying a kid, or there's sending inappropriate things and stuff. So we have some ideas. It's just kind of working out the safest way. But that's something that we've gotten feedback on, that there's a lot of teens that maybe didn't have a lot of friends to begin with, and now just are so lonely.
Yeah, that's important.
So yeah, it stinks. So, but a few ideas. We'll just kind of keep tweaking things and see what works, what doesn't.
So, and one more thing, Jen, on about the outdoor games. And I know a lot of people may have responded they're completely tired of virtual stuff. I get it. But I think part of it could be because of the time that we're in right now. It's summer. Everybody wants to be outside.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should be ready to pivot back to virtual stuff, probably November, December, because I do think that when it does get colder and maybe we can't create as many outdoor things as we'd like to, there might still be a demographic that would prefer to do something virtually. So if we can resurrect those when we get to that point as opportunities, I think that's important too. Yeah,
and I think STEM and chess are already planning to do their fall and winter online. So we have some, but it's just the feedback was, if you can do outdoor and get kids face-to-face, regardless of what it is, they'll take it.
Okay.
But,
yeah. I think you guys did a great job last year, so I just don't want to.
Yeah. No, thanks. So we have a couple more things to talk about, and this meeting is going to run out. So I'm going to set up a new one. And I will, does everyone have access to their email like right now?
I do.
Okay. I'll
Yes.
send you a new link. So I'm just gonna end this one and then I will send a new link for a new meeting.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Thank you.